All right, Tom, thank you. Well, May is a mental health awareness month, and one choice for people is whether to pursue therapy.
Jewish Family Services says it can help prepare people who choose this path toward better mental health. Dr. Kathryn Diebold is Vice President of Behavioral Health and Wellness Programs with JFS. She joins us now. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Such an important topic. And it's definitely one that I feel like has become easier to discuss in recent years, but definitely still tough for some people to kind of come to terms that maybe it's a direction that they're looking in.
Sure.
So we're going to get this right out of the way. What is your message to those people?
Yeah, I think that that's totally normal. There's still a lot of stigma out there that people are worried about what could happen. Could people find out that I'm going for counseling? I think what's important to know is that the counselor is there for you. Everything that you're going to talk about is going to be kept confidential. And really, this is your time to talk to a professional to get whatever that you need out of the situation.
What are you seeing on the front lines in terms of on the issue on mental health, and where do you think we are in terms of trying to address that stigma and all the rest there?
Yeah, I think we've made a lot of progress. I think there's been a lot of awareness, Mental Health Awareness Month. That's a great thing that we have that. We celebrate that we're talking about it more, but I still think that there is a lot of stigma. I think especially now that there is so much stress in the world, people are extremely stressed with everything going on. So there's a lot of need out there.
You know, somebody might be at home and say, well, I feel okay. I'm genuinely happy typically most of the time. But it sounds like speaking with a counselor is beneficial for most people, if not everybody. So what could lead someone to maybe picking up the phone and calling?
Yeah, sure. Maybe that's somebody who has some skills they want to work on. Maybe they're not feeling sad or depressed or anxious, but maybe they're having trouble setting boundaries. Maybe they want to be more assertive. They want to build some communication skills. So there's a lot of things that we can do in therapy other than talking about our emotions. We can learn coping skills. Maybe people want to learn how to handle work stress a little bit more. So it's not just about depression, anxiety. There's a lot of other practical skills that we can get out of counseling as well.
I feel like I gotta add and ask about social media just because everyone's on it these days. How do you balance social media and try to find good things, good places out there?
Yeah, I think it's about people are looking at it all the time, right? And that can be really stressful, overwhelming. So I think there's the opportunity to think about how much we're utilizing it, but also looking for maybe social media that's positive instead of looking at like some of the negativity. Are there positive social media out there? Do you like dogs? Do you like hiking? Do you like running? Do you like cooking? There's other things on social media that we can look at that maybe are good for us and that connect us with our interests or members of our community.
Yeah, it's called doom scrolling for a reason.
Yes.
So people who are at home watching this and think, okay, I think this is applying to me. What can they do in order to seek help?
Sure, they can reach out to we have many organizations in Western New York, not just Jewish Family Services, but many organizations in Western New York that offer mental health counseling. They can pick up the phone, they can ask to do an intake. Whoever talks to them is just going to collect some information, schedule a first appointment, and that's really the first step, is just looking up that information to get connected.
And some people may have questions about health care coverage and whether they have to pay out of pocket for these types of services. How does all that work out?
Sure. Most places are going to accept all major insurances, and then oftentimes if people can't afford it, there is a sliding scale option. So maybe they can't afford to pay something like $150 an hour per session. That's totally understandable. But a lot of agencies, including Jewish Family Services, does offer a sliding scale option if somebody does have to pay something out of pocket.
Okay.
Excellent. Dr. Diebold, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.